Really quick, if you didn't open your 2-week Salvatore IB set, do not open them yet, because I will talk about them in the video. But if you did, hopefully it was Rosso. If you didn't, that's alright. Yo, how are you guys doing? Like I said in the last video, this video is going to be about CP boosters and what you can do to get into Rigor. A couple big things to consider about this video is that I'm prioritizing speed. I wanted to get this video out as fast as possible because the 100 Amethyst quest is weekly, and even if you miss a week, that's 100 Amethyst just gone. Also, my goal is to get you guys to 270k CP because I'll let you do the first dungeon in Rigor, which is enough to get the 100 Amethyst weekly. But because of that, this video won't be as detailed as it could be. But at a later date, I will make a video series detailing what you should do from level 0 to endgame. But for today, I'm going to divide this video into multiple parts: L tiers, Mystic Stones, Magic Stones, accessories, costumes, L resonance, and skills. Each of these at their most optimal can potentially give you the CP you need to get to that 270 mark. So the first one is L tiers. The goal I am giving you guys with L tiers is very simple. Get the highest or second highest elite L tier you can find. I'm giving an example here where I changed my all skill damage from 36 to 39, which is the highest elite can go. That alone gives me about 20k CP, and it was only 3 points of all skill damage. If you can push to getting uniques, that is better, but I don't recommend it because of the price difference. 39 is 7 mil, while 40 is 100 mil, for example. It just is not worth it. Now, let me list out all the best tiers that you can get. So here we go. The highest balanced L tier at elite is level 26, and it's about 2 mil. Highest transformation L tier is critical damage 2% at about 7 to 8 mil. Highest proficiency L tiers are as followed: Polarize 8% at around 2 mil. Party's physical and magical attack 8%. There wasn't many magical bottoms on the board for blue, but for red physical, I found they were about 500k. So yeah, be aware of that. All skill damage 39 at about 8 mil. And MP cost minus 8% at about 1 mil. Now, I didn't mention destruction because it doesn't give CP on its own, and the skill that you boost is class dependent. But make sure you do get them to get set effects. Now, if you want to grind L tiers, I recommend Forgotten Orient Sanctum. It's a fast dungeon and can be done in less than 5 minutes and drops a lot of L tiers. The accessory that drops there can get you about 70 mil, and it drops at a decent rate. And you don't need tickets like Tower City. But if you do have tickets, you could do a couple towers. But I think Forgotten Orient Sanctum is just the best choice because if you do get that accessory, like I said before, 70 mil can pay for all those L tiers I was talking about earlier. And real quick, don't forget that you can craft L tiers at random with 100 colored powders. Next up is Mystic Stones. Now pay attention because this one is a bit harder because the RNG on Mystic Stones is very not forgiving. And buying multiple ones can be too tough on your ED wallet. At the same time, there's a weekly of 10 Mystic Stones during this event in Varnamir, so take advantage of that too with using them, or maybe you want to sell them to make more ED, that's fine too. But to help you out, this is what priority of what you should worry about with Mystic Stones. Now, I need to talk about the weapon real quick, and I'm basing this video mostly on the Void weapon on +9. Why am I doing this? Because the Void weapon at +9 is something that everybody can get. There's a story quest that gives you a +9 amulet for your Void weapon. You just do Void runs until you get the weapon, slap that amulet on, +9 Void weapon, easy. Now when it comes to Mystic Stones on Void weapon also has discs. The most important discs are Red Stage 5, Yellow Stage 4, and Yellow Stage 5. Blue Stage 3 is also pretty decent, if you can't find anything better there. If you are very strapped for ED, you don't want to spend too much ED on Mystic Stones, it's very understandable, then Red Stage 1 through 4 are okay as filler. They don't have the best stats, but if you don't want to waste your ED, getting 1 through 4 Red Stage, that's perfectly fine. But the rest you want to fill with Mystic Stones. Now the rest you want to fill with Mystic Stones. To make it simple, the stats you will be aiming for are as followed. Also be aware that if you get the stat of the opposite physical magical of the class you are playing, you will get 0 CP. For example, if you get physical attack on a Daybreaker, you will get 0 CP. So know which stat physical magical your class is toward. Now the 3 stats you want to be aiming for with your Mystic Stones are physical magical attack level, physical, magical, attack power, or critical damage plus %. Also note, this is critical damage plus, not critical. There's a difference. While the aim is to get one of these 3 stats, if you get stats like maximize, attack speed, critical, anything you can get from like magic stone sockets, those are decent as filler. Those are okay. If you get those, don't worry about it too much. Again, while Mystic Stones are a very easy way to get CP, there is a harsh RNG factor with Mystic Stones, and it can turn into a big ED sink. So be very, very careful when buying Mystic Stones, and be more lenient. You don't have to force yourself to get everything perfect. We're just trying to aim for some higher CP here. So be very aware of that. Be careful when buying Mystic Stones. The next step is Magic Stones. Everybody should be familiar with these. To make these simple and quick, I'm going to cut straight to the chase and tell you what you should be aiming for. You should always be using either Refined Magic Stones, which are these blue ones, or Sage Magic Stones, which are like these yellow ones. When the stats you're going to be aiming for is Maximize, Critical, or Attack Speed. Try your best to aim for the highest percent. The highest percent on Refined is 9% on Weapon, 4.5 on Armor. Highest on Sage is 12% with 6% on Armor. Try to get as close to those numbers as possible. Also, if you do have Sages, make sure they get priority on the weapon first, because those obviously get the highest percent. And don't forget about your wedges. Wedges give +1 sockets to any armor or weapon you have. That's a full socket. That's more free CP. Also, as a caveat, there are also SD stones, but there are too many to deal with and to figure out what gives good CP right now. And again, I wanted to make this video as fast as possible, so I apologize in advance if some of those stones give amazing CP and I just didn't know. But if you do know that, post it in the comments. Now, when it comes to accessories, this is going to be the first time I'm going to talk about something that I personally did not do because I already messed up. So during this event, you get a cube which gives you a Salvatore Ice Burner for free for 2 weeks. If you need CP, you should definitely go for the Rosso IB, which comes with its own accessories. That will give you the most CP out of any of the Ice Burners, to my knowledge. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But if you did not, it's okay. Work with the accessories you got from that IB, kind of work around them with the other things I'm going to talk about here. Now, in general, when talking about non-item mall stuff, this is the dream setup. 3 Ignia accessories, 3 Aurea Node accessories, 3 Sinister Intent accessories. Aurea Node is easy to get with grinding. All the pieces are less than 100 mil on the board. Pretty easy to get out of all these accessories here. Ignia can be hard because nobody runs Ignia's dungeon. So if the price is too high for Ignia accessories, I'm not sure what they are right now. Didn't see any on the board. But if they're too high, don't go for them. Like I said, accessories aren't a big priority. Sinister Intent is the best out of anything because it can fill any empty slot. Any empty slot you have, a Sinister accessory can go there. If you have 3, bada boom, 3, and get that set effect. However, the dungeon is limited to 3 runs a day, and they can be pretty pricey on the board, so if you haven't already started working towards Sinister Intent, it might be too difficult to kind of just rush it out right now to try to do these events. For the rings, the perfect setup you want is a skill ring and a ring of fury. That is the standard. So try your best to get those. If you can't, it's okay. Don't worry too much about it. But try your best for a skill ring and a ring of fury. For the necklace, you want what is called the Velder Kingdom's Necklace, Strength and Wisdom. It might be a bit pricey, but most people, even in endgame, including me, are using this ring. So maybe it's worth it for you, maybe it's not. Accessories, again, can be the most tricky part. So do not get too caught up in this section, because other sections later in this video might help you even more. Just look at my Rena here. She doesn't even have full accessories, but she still has 270k CP, so you can still get into Rigmore. Okay, costumes. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this, because with this event, everybody should have a Salvatore IB. The best Salvatore IB, like I said, is the Rosso one. Even if you don't have the Rosso one, it's okay. Still use what you have. If you don't, you can potentially get costumes from event dungeons, and then you take the rewards from those dungeons, trade them with Ariel. She also has a costume suit if you need that 1 extra socket. For costumes, just go back to what I said with the Magic Stone section. Crit, maximize and attack speed should be the goal with the sockets because they give the most CP. Let's talk about L Resonance. L Resonance is the easiest thing you can do to get free CP. While doing other steps like area node grinding and fusion theory grinding anyway, you should be gaining L Resonance level. Make sure you've done the quest to unlock L Resonance. Don't do any of the other grinding steps until you have L Resonance. That should be your first #1 priority, is getting L Resonance. I assume most of you guys have L Resonance anyway if you're trying to get into Rigmar. If you don't, please unlock L Resonance. Do the quest to unlock it. For L Resonance, the first thing you want to prioritize is all skill damage. Then polarize. Then boss damage. Honestly, if you can't get into Rigmar, your L Resonance won't be higher than 100 while grinding. So you probably should just have it in all skill damage. Remember, this first week of events is double EXP. It is double EXP all week. Use it to its full advantage. Please use it to its full advantage. It's the most simple and effective way to get free CP. It's just doing dungeons. Forgotten Elrian Sanctum is great. I think Lab is decent. Fusion Theory is great EXP for really quick. All those are great sources of EXP. You should have 100 L Resonance. If you have under 100 L Resonance right now, no, you need to fix that. You need to fix that. Have at least minimum 100 L Resonance. It's the most freest CP you can get. If you find yourself under by about a couple K, just get a level or two. Honestly, just get a level or two, and it should even you out. Alright, let's talk about skills really quick. In general, you should have all your passives unlocked, but the most important passive is a Transcendence passive called Awakened One. Awakened One gives you 10% to both physical and magical attack, which will give you a high amount of CP. And finally, the 4 skill Eroding Energy is the only 4 skill you should worry about for free CP. This is my CP without Eroding Energy. This is my CP with Eroding Energy. About a 4k boost with just the rare version. If you want to craft it, it's 200 Haner fragments, which is about 2 weeks of full Haner clear. If you want to buy it, it hovers around 80 mil to 100 mil on the board. In general, during this event, you should be trying to clear Haner once a week because we have both the plus 11 buff for your weapons and the 10% physical magical buff going on. So everybody should be doing at least normal mode of Haner. Everybody should be completing that no matter what. Challenge mode, everybody should be completing it completely, but even if you can't, that's okay. Try to get as far as you can. But everybody should be completing Haner during these weeks of this event because of the plus 11 buff. So guys, really quick, I wanted to talk about titles. Titles are a very easy way to get CP, and honestly the best title you guys probably have, if you can't get into Rigmar, is called Amazing Adventure. Everybody should have this, it's just in level 80. Yeah, I'm surprised how much CP it gives me, and it's really good, so put it on. Alright, got some miscellaneous things I just thought of on the top of my head. So, certain pets in their adult form have a physical magical boost which can boost your CP, and certain guild skills can also boost your CP. There's one for like boss damage, there's one for physical magical attack, things like that. So whatever those little things that can boost your CP, try to get them, try to find them. If you guys can think of more that I haven't thought about, post them in the comments, tell me, and I'll pin those comments. I'll pin them to the top of the comments so people can see them. And that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully these tips were helpful to boosting your CP, and I really hope everybody watching this can get to at least the first dungeon in Rigmar. Remember, if you can't get into Rigmar, please make use of all the events going on. The Sage Stones, the 10% attack boost, the free plus 11 weapon buff in all dungeon. It's great, it's amazing. Your range of dungeons just got so much more vast. So please make use of this event. Tell me what you guys think. Did you like this video? Should I make more like these? If you have any tips that I didn't think of to get free CP, easy free CP, please post them in the comments. I will pin really good ones on the top. But finally, I hope you guys enjoyed. Happy grinding, and I'll see you guys next time.